Imagine being a warrior who has already seen too much war. You've fought battles that never truly ended, lost people you could never replace, and carried scars no one else can see. Now imagine waking up somewhere completely unfamiliar, a place that feels ancient and untouched by everything you once knew. The sky looks different, the air feels heavier, and nothing around you makes sense. But the worst part isn't being lost. It's realizing that far out in the darkness of space, a massive spacecraft races forward, cutting through silence at incredible speed. Everything seems under control until suddenly, something goes terribly wrong. The ship begins to shake violently as it loses stability, alarms echoing through its hollow interior. Within moments, it is pulled into the atmosphere of an unknown planet. Flames rip across its surface as it tears apart midair, crashing down into a freezing lake below with a deafening explosion that sends water surging in all directions. From the wreckage, two figures emerge, barely alive. Clad in advanced suits, they struggle to reach the shore, dragging themselves out of the icy water. Exhausted and injured, they collapse on the cold ground, surrounded by silence. When morning comes, only one of them wakes up. His companion lies lifeless beside him, a deep and unnatural wound carved into his chest. It is not the kind of injury any human could cause. The survivor stares at the body, understanding immediately that something far more dangerous is now loose. The man activates a small device, scanning the surroundings for any signs of life or rescue. The results are clear and terrifying. There are no ships, no signals, no survivors. He is completely alone. With no other option, he connects another device directly to himself. It begins transferring information into his mind at an overwhelming speed. Languages, history, geography, culture, everything floods his brain at once. The pain is intense, but when it ends, he finally understands where he is. This is Earth, but not the one he knew. The year is 709 AD. His name is Kynan, and he quickly realizes survival will depend on adapting. He buries his fallen companion with quiet respect, then arms himself with a weapon far more advanced than anything this world has ever seen. With no time to waste, he moves into the forest, alert and cautious. But it doesn't take long before he discovers something disturbing. Ahead lies what remains of a village, completely destroyed. Buildings are torn apart, bodies scattered, and the signs of violence are unlike anything human. Among the wreckage, a large animal lies dead, ripped open in a brutal way that makes it clear this was no ordinary attack. Kynan studies the scene carefully, recognizing the pattern instantly. He knows exactly what caused this destruction. But before he can act, he is suddenly struck from behind. A man on horseback knocks him unconscious, ending his brief moment of control. When he wakes again, everything has changed. He is no longer free. Kynan finds himself tied up inside a Viking village, surrounded by people who see him as an outsider. His weapon is gone, and suspicion fills the air. These people live by strength, loyalty, and tradition, and he fits into none of it. Their leader is King Hrothgar, a man hardened by years of rule and battle. Beside him stands his daughter Freya, strong-willed and fearless, clearly someone who does not bend easily to authority, even her father's. As Kynan is questioned, he gives them only partial truths. When asked where he comes from, he lies, claiming to be from a distant land and hunting a dragon. The villagers do not believe him for a second. To them, he is the most obvious suspect behind the destruction they've seen. A stranger appears, and shortly after, a village is wiped out. The conclusion seems simple. They decide he deserves death. Kynan refuses to accept that fate. He attempts to escape, using whatever strength and intelligence he has left. For a moment it almost works, but the guards stop him, forcing him back into captivity. Later, when Freya enters to treat his wounds, he sees another chance. He pushes past her and the guards, running into the darkness, once again. Freedom is close, but fate has other plans. Suddenly, the village erupts into chaos. Horns echo through the air, and warriors rush to defend their home. They expect an attack from a rival clan, but what they find is far worse. There is no army at the gates. Instead, something is already inside. A creature moves through the shadows, fast and deadly. It tears through structures, killing without hesitation, leaving destruction in its wake before vanishing again. Kynan sees it clearly and immediately knows what it is. He calls it a Morwen, a creature from his past, one that should never have been here. As the villagers struggle to understand what they've witnessed, Kynan chases after it, driven by something deeper than fear. But when he is caught again, they bind him, blaming him for everything. Alone in the cold, he is forced to face his memories. He remembers his home world, once thriving and beautiful, now reduced to ruin. He remembers the Morwen attacking without mercy, destroying everything in its path. And most of all, he remembers his role in it. The guilt is written across his face. This is not just a coincidence. This is a consequence. The next morning, a small act of kindness breaks through the tension. A young boy named Eric offers him food, showing compassion where others showed anger. Brought before the king again, Kynan finally tells the truth. He explains what the Morwen is, how it hunts, and how it uses light to lure its victims. But most importantly, he admits the one thing that changes everything. He brought it here, not on purpose, but it was hiding on his ship. Now, it is their problem too. The room falls silent as the weight of his words settles in. Some demand his immediate execution, believing justice must be served. But Hrothgar sees something different. He sees knowledge, experience, and a chance to survive. Killing Kynan would solve nothing. Keeping him alive might save everyone. And so, a decision is made.
Kynan will not die.
Instead, he will help them hunt the creature he unleashed, because without him, none of them stand a chance.